Hi, welcome to the new episode of Sportsy. Let's talk sports. Today we have with us a super girl. She's an experienced media manager and a sports floor manager, 6+ years of very sporting event experience in Indian subcontinent as well as South Asia. A strong professional skill in media management, sports PR, floor managing, teams, stadium hospitality, sports management, and sports marketing. Yes, she is a super girl. Today we have with us Juhi Philip, who is currently working on Pakistan Super League. Hi, Juhi. Great to have you again on the platform in the same interview. And it's not like I wear the same clothes every day. I went back and saw what I was wearing for the previous interview and went back for the same. But it's great to have you. And for the listeners, for the viewers, last time when we were talking, Juhi was in Karachi and for
Right.
PSL. And then the whole PSL had issues and blockades and everything. And then after a long time, I got hold of her again to talk to her about the topic which we were supposed to discuss that time. Is how is your experience working in Pakistan and Pakistan Super League?
Well, it's interesting that, the last time we spoke, I was in Karachi and we had issues with the internet
Yes.
to begin with, which is why we had to put it on a hold. And then I think I just had a couple of more match days, after which I was supposed to have an off day and come back and speak to you. But then the whole thing got called off because a few players had tested positive within the bubble,
Yeah.
which in the last 4.5 months, this is the first time I had to experience a proper scare, to be honest,
Hmm.
because we did the Lanka Premier League, but then again, you have to understand that by the time PSL happened, the COVID numbers were way below than when we did LPL. So restrictions were slightly lower.
Hmm.
But for the players, it was existent. It's very difficult to understand when something like this happens. It was, I think, one of the players tested positive, and because he's in the bubble, the entire bubble got contaminated.
Yeah.
So I think that is an interesting, and I think in the best interest of the league as well as everyone associated with it, for the league to be paused at the moment and also hopefully resume in time, because I'm really looking forward to going back and working. PSL, like you asked me, uh, the first PSL I worked in was in 2019.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the most interesting experiences I've had, because I worked with a lot of people from the subcontinent. And I think for some odd reason, the Pakistanis are the warmest people you ever work with. There's there's this word called masla, which sort of translates into problem. But so
Okay.
it's either koi masla nahi hai ya bahut masla. There's nothing in between when you're working there. But mostly it's koi masla nahi. Like everything gets sorted out without people getting aggressive, or I think it's a harmony that people work in. So it was a very beautiful experience working in it, and to be back, because the last PSL I worked in was based out of UAE.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for the PSL to go back to Pakistan and be functioning out of there. Unfortunately, this is the second time in the span of the pandemic that they have had to put a pause.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look as great towards how it looks in the media. But as of now, that's the best call they could make. And we're all looking forward to putting up a show again once we have things under control.
Right.
So, but specifically, there are a lot of things that come around and hesitation, especially as an Indian to go and work in Pakistan,
Yeah.
as an Indian girl to go and work in Pakistan, to add to it, which was something that I was made aware of by a lot of friends and family. And they were asking me questions like, how many more women are working there? How many more Indian women are working there? I'm like, how does that matter? But that's a question you get asked in general. But obviously, there were hesitations also given the current scenario between the two countries. But sport is one thing that I think I've
Yeah.
said earlier as well. There's so much I've forgotten. It was almost a month ago. But um, sport is one thing that brings people together.
Yeah.
And if it you have to experience it yourself to understand that there is no qualms between the regular public.
Yeah.
we all want to play each other. We really, as of now, the ground news of whatever we are hearing in the industry is that the World Cup that's supposed to be staged in India, there are the government has sort of spoken about giving visas to the Pakistani media as well as the public to come and view, which is great news. Obviously, it's all dependent on the COVID pandemic, and but that's something that's really promising. That's not something I was expecting with how the nature of our country is at the moment, which I shall stay clear from, but I have my own opinions on it. But apart from that, I think it's very important because PSL is functioning on a very healthy level. Obviously, IPL dominates the whole T20 scene in the world. They sort of staged the whole idea of T20 cricket. But after that, there's the Big Bash, and I think PSL is in close competition as well. I'm pretty sure, I don't have the exact numbers to back it up, but I'm pretty sure there are more people interested in the subcontinent wanting to watch PSL over Big Bash.
Yeah.
Also for the streaming, it's easy access. You get it on Sony, which is an incredible experience. Also the kind of players you meet. As of now, Pakistan's been doing decently in South Africa. Babar Azam is someone who is not spoken about as much in international cricket as he should. So kudos to him. There's a lot happening in that country as well. And I do miss, as a kid, I remember my grandparents till date loved watching cricket, obviously, as much as I didn't. I used to run away. But just that family thing of watching the India-Pakistan game, or even watching a Pakistan-England game, to be honest. We watch it with equal zeal. And somehow, I've noticed that we end up supporting Pakistan and not England. So that happens. So I think it's been very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to going back. I did get a little inquiry if I'd be free at a certain window that they're looking at the moment. And honestly, even if they had not asked, I've sort of been tracking the news to just see and be free for that, because I want to complete my experience. I want to make sure that we deliver PSL at the level that it's supposed to. And I don't think our nationality sort of make a difference, or my gender makes a difference to be working in a country which honestly in our part of the world has been spoken about in a certain way, but it's completely different.
Exactly. That is what I wanted to ask you on the sports side. That there must be political issues, there are other issues, but on the sports side, it is a country where we have seen amazing talent coming in. We have seen different passion coming in, and in all those aspects, how was the experience? Is something that I think you put it in the right words. It's about koi masla nahi hai, sab masla hai.
So correct. I think also in the whole experience, I was working as a floor manager in broadcast, particularly handling brand activations, as well as ground operations, but mostly towards the brand activation bit, because PSL is one of the most heavily branded entities in world cricket. I think in the 2019 season, we had every second ball sponsored with something. So it gets quite hectic delivering on that. But this was the first time that I was in Pakistan. And fortunately for us, initially we started the tournament with 20% crowds, which had increased to 50% by the time we had to shut down, actually. And they were hoping for 100% crowds, but because of the issues of the player contamination and the bubble getting contaminated, we had to stop. But my interaction with the fans as well, the zeal that they have is absolutely smashing. I mean, I've been to Indian stadiums working and also attended as a fan, but Pakistan has equal amount of zeal.
Yeah.
Obviously. Which is why the rivalry is so great. But working there, I think there are a lot more people there that I saw, and there were a lot of women. There was, I made a very good friend there as well. She's heading the social media for the PSL from PCB's end, Natasha. And I mean, she did a splendid job. She otherwise is also someone who loves singing and is becoming an artist as well.
Oh, nice.
So she did these brilliant anthems for, and I think they have 6 odd versions of anthems for PSL.
Oh, wow.
And they're stunning anthems. So apart from that, I think there were the people who are assembled there. Obviously, every board has their issues that that's the media's job. But internally, there are people who are very well educated, very systematic. I think we all together, it was a smaller team than say IPL, but the amount of work put in together and on a daily basis of working, meeting, it was very organized as compared to a lot more leagues otherwise. I'm sure there are reports that say otherwise.
It's media, right?
But then that's the media, and I have all due respect for them. They have their own perspective on it. But internally, for me, I think there are the hiccups that you face across the subcontinent, and this is me talking from having worked in Nepal, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka. We have had issues in each of these countries in terms of our basic attitude towards work. Our basic की हो जाएगा. ठीक है, आप टेंशन क्यों ले रहे हो, अभी तो 1 घंटा है मैच को, so वो हो जाएगा. But so that's something that existed there as well. But I think everyone, each and every single person in that stadium is not there working because it's PSL, which is something we do for an IPL or the FIFA U17 World Cup. You know, we felt very proud. They're there to bring back cricket to Pakistan.
Right.
They're there to put on a show like no one else does. I mean, I've attended, so they had a virtual opening ceremony this season, which was telecasted in the stadium with AR and the fireworks and everything. It was beyond stunning. The 2019 season that I'd done with them in UAE, I've never attended something as lavish and well organized. We had, I will have to go back and look at numbers, but I think there were about 250 or more people on the ground doing this ceremony, right, in 2019 in Dubai, at the Dubai International Stadium. And we had a turnover time of about half an hour to get the pitch report, the toss and everything, while all this is getting cleared.
Okay.
And honestly, I was losing sleep because days leading up to this, I knew this is the plan. This is the running order. This is how much time it's going to take. And I was like, this is just not going to happen. The match is pakka getting delayed, you know, this is not going to happen. But everything happened so smoothly, and we put on the first ball right on time, and it was a spectacle I can never forget, honestly. So working in Pakistan, I think it is my favorite place to work with in terms of the people from Pakistan. But I haven't had my complete experience of working in Pakistan till I finish PSL and feel successful about it. But I think it is beautiful, and I hope there's more sport that happens there. Just when we were there, they launched the Gwadar Stadium, which is not really a stadium. It's more of a ground right now. They're still putting the infrastructure. But for people who don't know, Gwadar is a little more west towards Iran, next to Karachi. And it's a stunning place. I think ICC has put up some stunning images of the stadium as well. So just when PSL was supposed to end, Quetta and Karachi Kings were supposed to go and play a friendly there, which is amazing because, again, we've seen it through, again, it comes back to how sport is very important for the economy. We are seeing that with the IPL right now going through, despite all the COVID cases rising. And it's more about just making it happen because it's helping a lot of people. It brings a lot of money back.
Yeah, correct.
Financials are always a big deal. But it also brings in a lot of passion in people who are made to, right now we're all going to get quarantined. We're all going to get isolated again. And sport is one thing that keeps everyone connected. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to the Olympics with equal amount of zeal as well. So that's the same thing. So Gwadar is still a very untouched area of Pakistan. And for them to create tourism, to come back on the international map of sport, I think it's very important to keep expanding. And that is the way you keep youth under check as well. I think sport is a very important thing to keep youth in the right frame of mind as well. So the more facilities that are created, the more stars you'd see. I think we all are waiting for the next Mohammad Amir or, you know, the next Rawalpindi Express to come out of Pakistan again. Hasnain was doing really great. They're more fast bowlers. And I think that the fast bowling is something that we can't take away from Pakistan. I think they're better at it than us. So I think that's something we're looking forward to. And that's only something we explore once we get down there. When these people get the opportunity PSL has a team called Lahore Qalandars. I don't have a favorite team, not on record at least. But Lahore Qalandars have a player development program which is doing excellently well, because I was there at the T10.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I was at the LPL as well, but more at the T10, Abu Dhabi T10.
Yeah.
That's where Lahore Qalandars have a team called Qalandars there.
Mm-hmm.
In the Abu Dhabi T10, and they had, I think, 3 debutants there who were people who were picked up from grassroots gully cricket.
Oh,
they
wow.
call it tape ball cricket. So PDP is constantly exploring new players, getting people on board. The other teams are also doing very well, but PDP, practically the Lahore Qalandars Academy, has been bringing a lot of players. So I think that's important and healthy, and it opened my eyes about so much that's happening in Pakistan that we all don't get to hear on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Which doesn't limit to just this, even football. Just when we were leaving, they had the women's league kicking off.
Okay,
the women's
nice.
football league kicking
That
off.
was actually, I was going to ask you how, beyond cricket, what exactly that you got to experience there and got to hear about Pakistan
It
as a land
was,
for sports.
yeah, it was football for sure.
Mhm.
I met boxers. So PSL had an interesting sponsored segment for Heroes of Pakistan, where they had people related to different uh, factors of life coming in, and we were interviewing them as part of a sponsored activity. But more than the sponsored part of it, it gave me a very good insight of
Mhm.
meeting these legendary people. I met 2 sisters who have won Commonwealth medals, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go and look back at that. But in karate. And then there was the boxer who we met. But there's a lot happening. I think boxing is one thing that's happening well as well. But what's sad is a lot of these people are migrating, which
Yeah.
is something we see as well, especially with basketball. You're someone who knows basketball really
Yeah.
well. You know how many Indians just want to go to Canada or America to actually make a career because there's nothing happening in India.
Yeah.
The same thing with boxing and other sports in Pakistan. They all want to migrate out because they have a real opportunity of making to be a sports person beyond cricket. Because I don't, what's sad is I think I read just about half an hour ago, FIFA has, again, I think, well, I'll have to see that again. But FIFA has again said that they don't recognize Pakistan Football Federation at the
Okay.
moment. So that's sad because they just sort of started to come back. And
Yeah.
especially with women's football, there wasn't much men's football happening at the moment. But I've been in touch with a few female footballers from the country, particularly Karishma Ali. She's become a very good friend of mine as well. So it's really sad because they completed the whole season and they've
Yeah.
just flown back, and this is the first thing they hear.
Oh.
So, and this is all leading up to the Asian Cup that's coming up, for Women's Asian Cup that's coming up
Correct.
in their neighboring country, which is
Yeah.
India, next year. So it's sad. And I think everyone's really trying hard. It's a long way.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a smaller country. So that's something that works for them. It's easier to handle. There are more common languages. There are more
Yeah.
accessibility. So if I want to go from Lahore to Islamabad, it's just about a few hours away. Same, Pindi and Islamabad are twin
Yeah.
cities. And so there's a lot of infrastructure in these cities. But again, I think it's now under the current government or the current lot of people who've been exposed to more, may it be social media or technology or whatever. But there is a lot more sport coming back to Pakistan. I think over the next decade or so, there will be more. We will have more fight from them in kabaddi, which we
Mhm.
always do,
Yeah.
in boxing for sure, in wrestling,
Yeah.
and other sports, of course, as well. Women's football is also something that they have been trying to do well. But again, there are certain things that get stuck at the federation level, which players can't help with.
Correct.
Especially when it comes to the women's game. I don't think that's
Yeah.
something that is priority anywhere across the world right now, which is the sad part of it, which I'm sure you want to talk to me about.
Exactly. It's an unfortunate state, but yeah, that is what it is. But hopefully, what we see, what happened to the US women's football team after the World Cup, we hope to see that those changes happening across the world. And Manchester United women's team played at the home ground for the first time.
Yes,
recently.
just the night before, 2 days before.
Yeah, 2 days back,
Yep.
right? So
Yeah.
if Manchester United took so many years to accept that, with
That's
so much of
exactly what I'm agreeing with you on. It's not just, we talk about Pakistan and India because we are here. But when you look at the world as well, even the American team, great that it happened. Okay. I'm very happy from them. But at the same time, why is it taking so long?
yeah,
Especially in a country like America, which has globalized and monetized sport like no other country in the world.
correct, exactly.
I mean, when we get into sport, especially marketing side of stuff,
We
or
talk about America.
broadcasting even,
Yeah, it's
our epitome of looking at any product is America.
exactly.
So the way they know how, even university varsity football, the way that's broadcasted or made a whole spectacle of,
Yeah,
we are not even 1% there. And
yeah,
they took so long. And I think it's also the pressures of the world right now concentrating on race, on feminism, and everything in the right voice is
Mhm.
why these changes are sort of coming around. But I think it's too late. But I mean, it's never too late as well. But I believe we shouldn't wait to follow suit to countries like the UK or
Yeah,
America for them to do these things. I think we can be the fire starters as well and get ahead, because our women's team just now against Uzbekistan
yes,
performed brilliantly well. They play Belarus now, I
yeah,
think, on
uh,
um
yeah. In
9th.
2 days, yeah, ninth
Yeah,
April.
yeah, that's when they play. And AIFF is doing a decent job in trying and getting the streaming, informing people. I know fans in India stay irritated with the fact that we can't see all the games that are not
Yeah,
contracted by Star Sports, but everyone's putting in effort to get these games. And I think Indian football in particular are doing splendidly well in informing and keeping us informed and giving the women's team
mhm,
a good chance.
yeah,
They struggled till about, I would say, even 4 years ago. But in the last 4 years since ISL started, there was a little undertone that started with women's football in India as well.
yes,
Even the women's league that happens, it's a longer league than most countries see,
yeah,
which is splendid. And we have seen, which is why you have a Bala Devi playing in the Scottish Premier League,
correct, exactly.
which is why Aditi Chauhan is back in India and playing for us.
Yes,
She's
exactly.
she's creating her own little academy. She's talking about everything that a player should talk about,
Yes,
helping her own teammates also realize what being a brand is all about. So I think we are already spearheading
yeah.
as compared to other countries. I'm pretty sure the United, I shouldn't say this, I'm a United fan,
I
but
know
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
It's your Instagram is all red all the time.
but I'm pretty sure that a lot of the senior or even a lot of people in UK, let's not name people in teams, but wouldn't be able to name the women's team,
Yeah,
all of
exactly.
them.
Unfortunately,
I'm talking about the men's team not being able to name their own women's team.
correct.
They might know 3, 4 names,
Yeah,
but that's not the thing in India. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you talk to Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, he knows all the players,
correct.
right? So we are making a considerable effort to create a level field of playing. And I'm so glad that we are working faster at this level. At least that's how it looks like.
Looks like, yeah. I think it
Uh,
must be. That's what we get to feel as well. It's like media also
yeah,
doesn't speak bad about it. That is good part. It is
correct.
not projecting it too like, with all the big picture, but at least it's showing that it gives the respect that it deserves. That is what is important.
Correct. Because I remember maybe about 6 odd years ago, even the Indian men's team used to get bashed by the
Yeah,
media.
correct.
I have myself faced issues with television media where I wanted to get one of our top players during the ISL interviewed, and I had to literally be like, please. And we had to get these favors and things in order.
Yeah,
And now the tables have turned. So I think Indian women's and men's football is moving at an equivalent pace almost, at least
hmm,
where women's sport stands at. From that point of
right.
view, I think we're moving at an equivalent space. We cannot compare the financials of both the things, That's not because of India. That's also because of the amount of financials put in by the world in
Yeah.
women's game.
Correct.
It's not just because Indians don't want to put in money. You have to see as much. You can't just say कि हमारा the men's team and the women's team have the equal same budget.
Yeah.
For that, you have to bring in the financials, and the financials come by playing different leagues, by participating in different competitions, by creating awareness. And if the opportunities don't exist beyond our country, it's impossible for a women's game to create equal amount of, marketing benefits, etc., ticket sales. Because this is a conversation I've had with a few commentators from cricket pertaining to New Zealand or Australia, where Aussie players are getting paid equally, and New Zealand players also have started to get paid equally, I believe. When I say equally, it's equivalent to the category they fall under, obviously. But but then there's also chatter, which I don't totally negate, even as a woman, about the fact that what is the women's game bringing on board? We still need to make sure that our federations are being able to run and have enough financials to run with, instead of just saying, no, we are going to do equal pay. So for that, I think a basic infrastructure at the ground level, it all comes back to grassroots, has to be created. A player needs to be highlighted from whether a girl or a boy, from the teenage player, when they start doing really well. They could be a 17-year-old superstar. And that's the only way you'd be able to get them endorsements and everything, and get viewership, which actually turns into money.
It's finally at the end of the day, it's all about money, right? It has to be give them a sense of security. They will start performing without stress. And,
correct. Yeah. But it also goes the other way, right? Our female players have to understand that, at least where there are opportunities being given, like India for now, or New Zealand, or Australia, or America, that we also have to work very hard to keep playing, put pressure to create more leagues, play more constantly, which is the only way people will start watching us. Now, when I sit down to watch the Olympics, when it will come up, it's not that I wouldn't watch the 100 meters, track of a men's track and a women's track. I'd watch them equally with the same amount of zeal. Athletics is that, right? So I want to be able to do the same for all other sports. And that'll only happen because it's as simple as I knew PT Usha. Though I really wanted to watch her. But the onus also lies on the player themselves and the media to give us the same push that organizers are doing to organize these things. So it's very important for the media support to exist, to be able to put out our voices, because social media only extends till a certain part. To reach out to the masses, traditional media is equally important. And that's where I think the game will change as well. We can keep playing well, but until the media doesn't highlight it, until we don't get the exact support and information out there, it'll die out again. And that's why we have to make sure that doesn't happen.
And coming from a media manager, floor manager, media expert, media PR personality, a superwoman in football, cricket, or whatever you want to call it, all the sports across, I think it makes a strong point. Juhi, it's for now. Let's call it, and look forward to talk to you again.
Hey man, thank you so much for having me.
Please do subscribe on our channel Sportsy Sage and help us spread the word about Sportsy. We go with the same handle Sportsy Sage across all the social media platforms.